conventional score too. It's.
I mean, you could say the same thing for Blade Runner 2049.
But it's kind of taking that Blade Runner 2049 and going up to 11 with the Blade Runner 2049 score.
Yeah. I think on for blockbuster like epics, that's definitely hands down the best thing that's come out this year. It falls under 2021 technically. So,
and it sounds like the second part, which got approved, which is good. I think the second part will be 2023. I heard.
That makes sense.
I hope so. I know that that's a big movie, and because they kind of didn't know if they were going to do the second one, which sucks. That was kind of a shitty move by Warner Brothers. They should have just gone all in. Mm-hmm. Even if you shoot it like Lord of the Rings style all together and then cut it in half. I can't believe the Warner Brothers didn't commit to doing the full story.
Yeah, how scary. Because imagine if, it wouldn't have pulled the numbers in that it did, and they said no. Then you have like this unfinished piece of work that's amazing, and then it just cycles back to like Terriers, where you're just like canceled way too early.
Yeah.
When your shit is really good. So, but luckily for us, it got greenlit for part 2. So we get to see more of that world.
I'm so excited for the second half. And you had asked me, we never really talked about it, but you asked me what I thought about the Lynch version of Dune, which I don't hate.
It's a very divisive film,
but it's not good by any means. It's very over the top and campy. Mm-hmm. It's almost like watching the old Batman TV show. Mm-hmm. Like especially the Baron, the villain, the big villain in the film or in the book, but obviously the film played by Stellan Skarsgård in the Villeneuve version. It's like watching a Batman villain. It's so cheesy and over the top. So there's nothing about that performance in the Lynch version that makes you scared. But the Stellan Skarsgård version of the Baron is fucking scary. But the Lynch version it relies too much on voiceover narration. It skips over so much stuff in lieu of the voiceover narration kind of pushing things along. I know that Lynch himself doesn't care for the movie.
And it didn't do well.
No, it was a big bomb. It's got cult status now. Mm-hmm. But it's not good. It's got a good cast, it really does. A lot of them are Lynch players. Anyways, Dourif is in it. Kyle MacLachlan plays the Paul Atreides role. But it's not great. I rewatched it just before the Villeneuve version came out. I was kind of like, yeah, this is a bad movie. But I don't absolutely hate it. There are some good stuff, or there is some good stuff in it. But have you ever seen the Lynch version?
Bits and pieces, but not all the way through. I've never had that opportunity. But somebody the other day was telling me they said that they thought that was the worst movie they've ever watched.
They might not be wrong. It is pretty bad. The costume design is wild.
I just think they weren't where they needed to be with special effects and stuff.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It was kind of like, that's a big, sprawling, epic story. And to try to adapt it in the 1980s, even if you've seen that documentary about the Jodorowsky Dune, like, yeah, the concept art was amazing, but they would have never been able to pull that off with, 1970s technology and special effects. I mean, it wasn't until really Star Wars came along that even proving work with miniatures and special effects could really push things forward. But The Lynch version of Dune, yeah. Maybe if he had made it years down the road, in the mid-90s, it would have been different. But yeah, I agree with you 100% on the effects just not being where they are, or where they were at the time. Plus the blue eyes in the Lynch version. They're like glowing, like someone literally colored them in on each frame of film with a blue highlighter. I really liked how subtle the blue eyes were in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was probably CG still. I don't know if each actor wore contacts. And the thing with the blue eyes, for those who don't know, is if you have a spice-rich diet, as the Fremen do, the native people of the world, it gives you the blue eyes. But they weren't glowing blue like they are in that Lynch movie. But so you liked it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, of course. I just felt like it's slow in certain parts, but I think that was my only real issue, is that it felt like it dragged like here and there, certain places, but nothing too crazy that I can recall.
Yeah, it's a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah,
I think it moves, but it's not. I don't think it's overly long.
No, not for what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also, like I said, very faithful to a book that is 600 plus pages. If you have the version I have, and not like the mass market, which I think might be over 1,000. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
I did. I'm glad I went to see it the way it was intended.
Yeah.
And not at home. So I guess that pretty much closes out, right? Our stuff.
Not necessarily top 10, but
or what we enjoyed.
What we enjoyed or did not enjoy this year.
Oh.
I do have to ask you something.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you last week. Have you seen the trailer for The Northman?
Yes.
It looks fucking amazing. I cannot wait for it.
They actually put that in front of Licorice Pizza.
Oh, did they?
So I got to see it on the big screen, yeah.
Awesome. From one of our favorite new directors, Robert Eggers.
Yes.
Who's had 2 movies come out, both of which are fucking phenomenal.
Yes.
The Witch and
The Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse, yeah.
Especially, I was just sold. I'm sold that just Bjork is in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking so crazy. It's like, alright. Skarsgård looks amazing. God, what a stacked cast, and it just looks like it's gonna be incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can't wait to see that.
Do you know when it comes out? I don't remember if the trailer had a date on it.
It says April 8th, 2022.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you the opportunity to talk about what's going to be coming up for the new year.
In terms of us?
Yes.
What episodes?
Yes.
Well, I got a list of some good movies. I don't have an order for them yet. As always, it's kind of a mixed bag of some ones I think are very underrated, and some ones that are more personal to me, whether or not they're, super well known or not. Some big hits. Some ones that did not do well at all, but I think are really great movies that need to be seen. You and I can talk off air about what they are. I like to keep things kind of close to the vest until we're ready to go. Possible that I take January off and not do a movie in January simply because I double up at the end of December.
Okay.
I know I skipped January last year, and then we got together in February to do. Not 100% on that yet, though. I will let you know within the next couple weeks that you can plan. But I think we have a good slate coming up. I already asked you about what we do for Halloween and what we do for Christmas next year. to kind of get us thinking about what we're going to do. I have some ideas. I threw them out last night. You think them over and throw out any ideas you might have.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about those. Go watch Dune. I know that they brought it back in IMAX for a little bit in early December before Spider-Man came out, and it did huge business again because it got kicked off the IMAX screen when Eternals came out. So a lot of people were really bummed that they missed it. They wanted to see it in IMAX, so when they brought it back in early December after Ghostbusters had kind of run in IMAX for a little bit, people were still going to watch it, and it was still doing big business. Because people were like, we want to see this movie projected the way that it's supposed to be. So, watch that. Watch Twilight Zone. And watch The Expanse.
And if you haven't seen it yet, check out Candyman.
Yes. Really excited to watch it.
Alright. So, until next time, maybe you won't return for January. Maybe you will.
Like I said, I'll let you know with enough time so that you can have a contingency plan. I won't ditch you the week before, or a few days before we might do a January episode. So I'll let you know in plenty of time.
Okay.
You know, it's a lot for me to do the show with the amount of research I try to do.
Yes.
So, and because I double up in December, I'm kind of, maybe I'll sit out January just to give myself a break. Give your listeners a break from listening to me and my dumb ass talk for 2.5 to 3 hours sometimes. But we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, as we close out, if you are stumbling upon this podcast, we are Drop the Mic from San Diego. We release new content every single week. Been doing this for about 5 years. 4 years with you, right? Pretty much. And we're available on all major podcast platforms, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Check us out if you haven't already. Please give us those 5-star ratings or a nice review, because it helps as far as the search engine for other people to find our show.
And Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Because this is the episode that airs on New Year's. Watch the Twilight Zone marathon. You still got time. There's still another 24 hours of it.
Oh, yeah.
Good night, guys.